Okay, I will try. Fine. So, President of Afghanistan is Ashraf Ghani. Ashraf Ghani. Right. And if you consider their language, which is called official language, shall I write official language? Yes, no, what? Okay, so fine. I will try to write the language as well. Right. So Ashraf Ghani, and official language is I will just write here only once. Language. Fine. So two language. Asia. Right. So next is Algeria. Right. Algeria's. And we have considered it as dinar. So the prime minister of it is HPM is Noruddin Betoul. So Naureddin Noruddin Bedoui. Right, Bedoui. And their languages are Arabic, official languages, French, and Tamazight, Tamazight, Tamazight. So Arabic, French, and Tamazight are the official languages in the Algeria, right? Which you can consider. Fine. And you know, Algeria is the African country. Fine. The next one, Angola, right? Levant, and its new kwanza is its what we can consider currency, right? So Angola's president is João Lourenço, right? So president. Yes, you can write if you have a space to write. You can write right below, or you can write there somewhere. Right, if you have no space. Only thing is that you should identify this is the language. Right. Ultimately, you have to study it. So, president of the Angola, João Lourenço, Joao, Joao, Lourenco, João Lourenço, and its official language is Portuguese. G-U-E-S-E, Portuguese. Fine. And it's again the African country, right? It is in the continent of Africa. Fine. So Angola launched new cons. President is João Lourenço. Its official language is Portuguese, and it is in the continent of Africa. Fine. Now, next one is the Argentina. Fine. So in this consider the case Argentina, Buenos Aires, and its currency is peso, right? So you can consider now its president. Its president is this green color writing visible? So Mauricio Macri, right? Okay, fine. Mauricio, Mauricio Macri, Macri, right? Mauricio Macri. The language which is called the official language is Spanish, right? And this country is in the America continent, particularly South America, right? So it is in South America. Got it? Fine. So the Argentina is in Argentina, Buenos Aires, peso, president is Mauricio Macri, official language is Spanish, and it is in the South America. Fine. So that is about the Argentina. Now, Armenia, Yerevan, its currency is drum, right? Fine. Now, its prime minister is Armen Sarkisian. Armenia's prime minister is Armen, Armen, Armen Sarkisian, Sarkissian, Sarkisian, and its official language is Armenian. Official language is Armenian, and it is in the continent of Asia, right? So it's a Asian country. Fine. So Armenia, Yerevan, Dram, its PM is Armen Sarkisian. Its official language is Armenian, and it is in the continent of Asia. Writing dark by this pen, I don't think it. I will try, but I don't think it will be more darker than this. That's why I was searching black pen, but I'm not getting it. Anyway, I will try out a red pen. Okay, that's fine. If it is clear, then I think we should okay with it. Fine. So go to the next one. Now, Australia. Right. So, you know, this country, Australia, is having its capital as Canberra. Its currency is Australian dollar. and its prime minister is Scott Morrison. So PM is SCOTT Morrison, MORRISON. Official language is English, right? And it is in the continent called Australian, or you can it's PM, right? Scott Morrison. Fine. So what we can consider, what I was talking about, oh yes, where it is. So it is in the continent Australia, or it is also called as Oceania, right? So Australia, or one more time I will be writing it as Oceania. Oceania. Right. So this could be what we can consider the continent in which this country is. So next is Austria, Vienna, Euro. Its prime minister is Sebastian Kurz. Right. So prime minister is Sebastian, SEBASTIAN, Sebastian Kurz, right? And their official language is German, right? And it is in the continent of Europe, right? So Austria, Vienna, Euro. The PM is Sebastian Kurz. Its official language is German, and it is in the continent of Europe, right? So let's go to the next one, which is Azerbaijan. Fine. So Azerbaijan, Baku, Manat. Its prime minister is Nowroz Mamadov, right? Azerbaijan, PM Nowroz, NOVRUZ, Nowroz Mamadov, MAMMADO, Mamadov, right? And its official language is Azerbaijani. And it is Asian country, right? So it is in the continent of Asia, Azerbaijan, right? Then next one you can consider here is Bahrain, Manama, Bahrain Dinar. Its prime minister is Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, right? So Prince monarchy, right? So Prince Khalifa bin Salman, Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, right? So Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa. Now see how you will be remembering such names, right? So just by memorizing, and I will suggest not to memorize just, right? So instead, if you could read a story about it, right? As like you must have felt very difficult to remember APJ Abdul Kalam's name, right? So whenever first you have, whenever you must have remembered this, right? So that might have been difficult, right? So that would be the case. You have to always, but after reading either Wings of Fire or some story of missile development or some story about the satellite vehicle launcher, right? So at that time, very simply, you must have remember, right? So Abul Paki Jainuddin, right? The kind of name, right? Very easily you must have uh, remembered, right? So I will not suggest to mug up these things, right? If anybody can do it, it is always good and better. There are some extraordinary, I don't know how, but they can mug up it, right? So like a robot, they will be always ready with that particular answer. So Bahrain Manama, Bahrain Dinar, Prince Khalifa bin Salman, Al Khalifa, right? Simply Prince Khalifa bin Salman is okay, right? And their uh, official language is Arabic. Official language is Arabic, and you know, again, it is Asian country, right? So which you can consider. Now Bangladesh, Dhaka, Dhaka, Prime Minister is Sheikh Hasina, right? So Sheikh, Sheikh Hasina, right? Sheikh Hasina, and their language is Bangla, right? And you know where it is, right? So it's in Asia. Next is obviously the Belarus, right? So you can consider the next one is Belarus, whose uh, capital is the Minsk, right? And its currency is Belarusian ruble. Now its prime minister is Sergei Rumas. So prime minister is Sergei, right? Sergei Rumas. Fine. And two languages which are officially known, right? Belarusian and Russian. So first is Belarusian and second is Russian. Right? So these are the two languages which you can consider. And Belarus is nothing but a European country. Right? So Europe. Fine. So Belarus. Fine. The next one, Belgium, Brussels, Europe. Belgium, Brussels, Europe. Its prime minister is Charles Michel. So prime minister is Charles Michel, Michel, Michel. And the languages used in Belgium, three official languages: Dutch, French, and German. So Dutch, French, and German. Fine. So Dutch, French, and German. Again, it is a European country. Fine. So Bhutan, Thimphu, Gultran, Bhutan, Thimphu, Gultran, and its prime minister is Lotte Sharing. So PM is Lotte Sharing. Tshering. Right? Sharing. And their official language is Dzongkha. Right? So Dzongkha. Dzongkha. Fine. And again, it is Asian country. Fine. Then next one is Bolivia, right? Whose what we can consider, whose capital is La Paz, which is administrative, and Sucre, which is the judicial, right? And its currency is the Boliviano. Fine. Now we can consider its Bolivia, La Paz, and Sucre. So its prime minister is Evo Morales. Okay, we'll write it here. PM Evo Morales, Morales. Evo Morales. Spanish is the language, right? So languages AYMARA, Spanish, and Croatian, Croatin, Croatian. Right. So Aymara, Spanish, and Croatian are the languages which you can consider about this particular country, right, which is called Bolivia, right? Now, if you consider the what we can consider from where it is, right? So that is the case which you can consider. So it is from America, particularly South America. Bolivia, South America. Fine. The next one, Botswana. Fine. So you can consider here is next one is Botswana, Gaborone, right? So now right? So sometimes we feel that anyway. Okay, Botswana president, as I said, is Mok with C. So MOKGWEETSI, Mok with C. Masisi, 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 right? Likewise, KK Menon. So Many times we will read it as Kai Kai Menon, right? So it's spelling anyway. So Margaret C. Massisi is the president of Botswana, and the official languages English and one more language. You can call it as Sona, right? So English and Sona are the official languages, and it is in the continent of Africa. So it is an African country. Fine. The next one, which we can consider, is Brazil, right? Now, Brasilia, and its capital is Rio. So Brasilia, Rio. Its president is Jair Bolsonaro. President is Jair, Jair, Jair Bolsonaro, 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 right? And the language they speak is Portuguese, Portuese, Portuguese. And you know where it is, right? The football lovers must be knowing it. So it is in South Africa. Sorry, America. I don't know. South America. Fine. So Brasilia, Real. President Jair Bolsonaro. Portuguese, South America. Finished. Okay. Next, we can go with is Brunei, right? So next is yes, Brunei. Now, if you consider the capital of Brunei is Bandar Seri Bagban, right? And if you look into its currency, that is Brunei dollar, right? And its prime minister PM is Hassanlal Bolkiah. So PM is Hassanlal, HASSAN, Hassanlal Bolkiah, Bolkiah, Bolkiah. Right. The language, official language is Malay. Can anybody imagine that, or can you apply your common sense in which continent it must be? I'm just asking it by this name. No? So you know it is in Asia. It's an Asian country. Right. So Hasanlal, Balkia. Bulgaria. Next one is Bulgaria. Fine. So if you consider Bulgaria, Sofia, Lev, its prime minister is Boyko Borisov. Right. So Boyko Borisov. And the language which is called official language is Bulgarian. Official language is Bulgarian. Fine. And anybody in okay, so your responses must be going to the host anyway. So where it is? Anybody knows it? Anyway, so Bulgaria, Sofia, Le, Boyko Borisov, Bulgarian, and it is an European country. Fine. It is the European country. Next is called Burundi. Right. So Bujumbura, Burundi franc. Its president is Pierre Nkurunziza. President is the Pierre Pierre Nkurunziza Nkuru, right? Nkurunziza, Ziza, and the language which are called official language, the French and the Kirundi, right? So are the three languages which you can, two languages which you can consider. And where it is, it must be in the continent of Africa. Fine. Next one, which we can consider, is Cambodia. So Phnom Penh, Cambodian Real. Its prime minister is Hun Sen. Hun, or you can read it as Hun Sen. Right, so Hun Sen is its prime minister, and the language which is known as official language is Khmer. So Khmer, right? Khmer, and you know it is Asian country, right? So Cambodia, Phnom Penh, Real, Hun Sen, Khmer, and it's a Asian country. Anyway, I think we will stop at this point. So in next session, we will go with the other things. Probably I will be having different idea tomorrow, so that in a half of the session we will finish out all the names, right? So that you need not to wait for writing all these names and other. But in this case, what will happen? What must be happening? You must be memorizing even the country capital and currency as well.